A downtrend is formed with a series of lower highs and lower lows. A downtrend line is a straight line connecting two or more high points through falling peaks of a down move to identify resistance. Now this downtrend line acts as a resistance and indicate that net supply is increasing, which leads to price decline. And as long as price remains below the downtrend line, the downtrend is considered solid and intact. And a break above the downtrend line indicates that net supply is decreasing and a change of trend could be imminent. Let's take a look at this chart, a currency pair GBP USD. This pair has been trending down with a series of lower highs and lower lows. Now this is a downtrend line. This trend line serves as a future resistance line when projected and creates an opportunity to go short. And see how the break of this trend line changes the current trend to up. Now remember something which is extremely important. Not every trend break changes the prevailing trend, which it does apparently. I've purposely taken this kind of chart so that you manage to understand the concept clearly. In many scenarios, you will encounter where a trend line gets broken, but trend doesn't change, and eventually price starts traveling in the original direction, the direction prior to trend break. Now this understanding a concept is simple, but trading the concept isn't that simple as it may seem. You have to look at other important parameters before judging if the trend break is real or not. And you can ascertain that through study of volume. Time and again I'll keep repeating and emphasizing the fact how important a volume analysis is. Most traders do badly as they choose to ignore volume, and volume analysis is a must. A simple technique to filter out bad signal is by judging if the underlying trend did break with heavier volumes or not. If it did not, then the trend break is a suspect. Okay, so this is a chart of an index. This index has been observing a downtrend and has been retreating after striking this trend line. But look here, the break of this trend line. It also captures this swing high and the momentum shifts. Let's go a bit deeper into this concept of trend line now. The 2 points are required to draw a trend line. But which 2 points? Also, what to do when data points go beyond the trend line that you have drawn earlier. So let's discuss both the cases. Now if you choose to draw a trend line from any 2 points and project the same to determine future line of support and resistances, then that is going to be a grave mistake. But even if you desire to draw a trend line taking any 2 points, your motive must be very short-term trading. But still, you must have 3 points instead of 2 so as to render that trend line of any importance. We will discuss this just a bit later. This moment, let's understand which should be the first point to consider that enables drawing of a valid trend line. In this chart, the index is in a downtrend. You must choose a starting point, which is this swing high, the topmost point. Now as price evolves, it will keep on throwing swings. You draw a trend line joining this top and this second point here and project the same. And you had 2 opportunities to go short, here and here. But see what happens on the second instance. Price made an attempt to break out but failed and closed inside this very trend line, reiterating bearishness. But is this trend line still going to be valid? Now, some may have answered in the affirmative and some negative. Understand carefully. Price rejected to break out here as this trend line has been in operation. So this very trend line did its job perfectly and price resumed its journey south. But now we have a new high as a reference point and we must draw a new trend line. Now see what could have happened if we continued to believe this original trend line to be valid. Now this instance over here, one would have believed that a trend break is successful and a long position is taken. But the trader would have got stopped out over here as he was trading a wrong trend line. Now take this trend line. This is the same trend line that we used during discussion of a downtrend and see how price resists moving higher at this newer trend line. Now revisiting the question regarding 3 points touch for a trend line, look here. Some may choose to draw a trend line taking this as the first point and this is the second and project this line. Now the trader might have considered this breakout to be true and the result would have been stop getting triggered as the trend line was not drawn perfectly, as this is not where the downtrend started. So in such cases you must have at least 3 reference points to draw such trend line and only then the trend line can be of any utility. And then also that trend line should strictly be used for capturing short-term price movements.